Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to this video. Today I'm going to be trying out this beautiful little palette by Becca that I found at TJ Maxx. If you guys are interested in seeing this palette and the look that I did with it, let's get into the video. So the other day we decided to go to TJ Maxx again because I keep going since they've been reopened, and I keep finding stuff even though they're like not restocking the store. It seems like everything's on clearance and shelves are empty. It's just getting really like sad. I don't know why they're not putting out new stuff, but I keep asking and they're like, we're getting in a truck next week, or oh, it's because so many people are coming from all around because other stores aren't open. But then I'm like, why is everything on clearance then? Somehow I found this Becca palette the last time I was there. This is the Becca Pearl Glow Shimmering Eye Palette. And I talked about this in one of the videos where I talked about like things I wanted, the makeup on my wish list. So when I saw it there, I was like, I don't need any palettes. I really don't. But I figured since this was on my list, I had to grab it. It was only $19.99. And on Becca's website, it's $58. And Ulta's website, it's $46. So it's at least $46. So that's less than half price. And I figured I just had to get it and try it out. This was the only one that I saw, but the cool thing is I opened it when I was in the store because it was not in one of those plastic like security things, which usually at TJ Maxx, that means it's going to be opened and swatched or broken and just like a mess. But this one surprisingly was not opened, was not touched. So there's the front, it's just pretty. This nice pretty like purpley silver color. And then the inside looks like that. Completely untouched, no little finger marks, no dents. There's no like finger swipes or anything like that. So I figured it's pretty safe, pretty, you know, there's no, if somebody dug in there, you would definitely see it. So I'm gonna swatch them and then we're gonna do some eyeshadow with it and see if it turns out as beautiful as it looks. The mirror is a really nice size and really good quality. It's just a beautiful palette. The only thing I wish it was a little heavier. It feels a little light for what it is. Like it looks like it's expensive. I know it's kind of silly, but things just feel more expensive when they're heavier. You know what I'm saying? So I wish it felt a little heavier. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but let's go ahead and swatch them. So here's the first row. They look really pretty. This one here is really sparkly and really reminds me of those really pretty like sparkly shades in the Pat McGrath palette I have, except it's more pink. That one has more green and yellow, but just the texture and the look of it really reminds me of that formula. So this one is called Lilac Pearl. This is Freshwater, Iridescent Aura, and Warm Sands. So here is the second row. So we have, starting on this side, Tahitian, Oyster, Sunlight, and Pink Pearl. And Sunlight looks like a really pretty, nice champagne-y gold that will look really nice all over the lid. And here's the final row. Starting on this side, we have Exotic Black Pearl, Pacific, Cove, and Coconut Shell. And those look really pretty. That black is really pigmented and really dark. These darker shades seem a lot more like creamy and like they'll blend a lot more easy and a lot more even than the others. I also wanted to mention I found this Sigma brush at TJ Maxx also. So this is the P82 Precision Round Brush. This was $7.99 at TJ Maxx and it's normally $14. So it's almost half price. But I thought I would try it out. Sigma brushes are just really nice. They're a little pricey though if you're buying a lot of brushes. So it just seems like a nice big like round, more brush to kind of pack on color, not blend out so much. So I wanted to try this out with my eye look today and see if I like this brush. So now that we have everything swatched, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in and then we will do some eyeshadow. All right, so now we're zoomed in and looking at this palette, I don't really have a transition shade. So I'm just going to go into the Natasha Nona Safari palette and I'm gonna use the shade Tamarind right here as the transition shade. And of course, using a big fluffy brush. Okay, so now we have a nice transition shade down, and I'll just speed through the other eye throughout the video so you don't have to watch both eyes. Okay, so we have the transition shade. Now I'm gonna go into the dark brown in the Becca palette. That one is called Coconut Shell, and I'm gonna use the Sigma brush. Going back with the first brush to blend that out a little bit. So it's blending really nicely, and I really like this brush. It's packing on the color just a little bit more than a fluffy brush would, and if you're really wanting to get a little bit more pigmentation and a little bit darker and more defined in the outer crease, this would be a really nice brush. So I'll go and do the other eye. So I think I'm gonna take these 3 shadows that are shimmery, this dark brown one, and then this one, and then the golden one, and just kind of do all 3 on the lid, just kind of blending together, doing the darkest out towards my outer corner. So here's the dark brown. It's called Cove. Just using my finger to just pack it on, just easier. Then in the middle, I'm gonna go in with Oyster. So pretty. And then I'm gonna go into Sunlight, the more golden one. So we just have this kind of like ombre, really nice blended effect. Then I'm gonna take like a little flat shader brush and go into the very first shade, Lilac Pearl, and just put that on the brow bone. I really like that shade. It's just like a very, very like light hint of lilac. It's not where you just put it on and it looks like crazy bright purple. I feel like some shades do that where it's just, it's too much and you can't even use it as like a highlight like that. But that one looks really nice. I'm gonna take a small, just kind of fluffy blending brush and take that first shade from the Natasha palette and go under my eye. Then I think just for fun, I'm gonna take the really glittery shade, the Iridescent Aura, and take that on just like the very, very inner corner of my lid. So pretty. Do you see that? Do you see that? So let's see how this looks. That looks really nice. It's not as like bam in your face as I thought it would be, but I mean, it just means it's a little more wearable. I'm also gonna take just this little tiny fluffy brush and just go into the black. It's called Exotic Black Pearl, but it doesn't look like there's any like shimmer in it. It was just a really nice black. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and define the outer corner. And I'm gonna go into the brown shade and just bring that under my eye a little bit more. Oh man, how did that happen? Okay, so I'm just using my Pure Afterglow highlight for my inner corner highlight. So that is it for the eyeshadow. I think it looks pretty nice. It blended really nice. I really like the shades. There's no transition shade, and then there's no like inner corner highlight unless you want to use like the blue or pink kind of glittery shimmery shades. But I like a more neutral inner corner highlight. Neutral, but like a really bright one. So the one that I used for my brow bone isn't gonna be bright enough, so that's why I used the Pure one. I'm gonna go do some liner and lashes and I'll be right back. All right, so here it is with liner and lashes. I think it turned out really nice. And since this is a TJ Maxx video, I wanted to mention the lashes that I used. I used these Cala Volt lashes. These are the volume ones. And this was 5 pairs for only $4.50. So they're so pretty. I'm definitely gonna get more if I see them. The only thing is they're so hard to put on, like gluing them on. They do not want to like go on your eye. At least for me, I know I have some kind of small eyes, so lashes are always tricky for me, but these ones just, ooh, they do not want to cooperate. But I have been loving them for using my, like I cut them into little pieces and do the technique where you put it underneath your lash and they stay on for a few days using the Lashify glue. If you haven't seen that, go check out my video on it. I have a couple, but they're just really pretty. And for like less than $1 a pair, that is like an insane price for lashes this pretty. So I just thought I'd mention those lashes. And now let's zoom you guys back out. All right, so now let's talk about this palette. I'm actually really glad that I picked it up. It kind of does not look that wearable at first. It kind of just looks like really colorful and like shimmery, but I think these are actually really wearable. I think all of the shimmery shades, when you apply them, they're a little bit toned down, so they're not so bright. And even this pink and blue looked a little bit muted when I swatched them on my arm, so I'm excited to use those. But it's a very pretty palette. These shades are just really gorgeous. They're not like too crazy pigmented, but I think for a palette like this, that's fine, and it's just a little bit more wearable, a little bit more user-friendly. The packaging is just beautiful. It feels like something special. So I love when makeup just does that and you just feel like it's this special thing that you get to have and use every day. I definitely suggest getting this if you guys see it, especially on clearance like that at TJ Maxx for less than half the price. I think that's a great deal. I'm not sure why it was there in the first place, and it was the only one at my TJ Maxx anyways. I think that is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have found some great high-end palettes at TJ Maxx. Please subscribe if you haven't already and join my little YouTube fam. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.